Ironwood Games. This is Andrew. And welcome to our festival, the Hunter Maze. So in this one, it's another 60-card singleton. They're doing, I think, 5 of these, one for each of the layers of Phyrexia, which correspond to the colors. So this one's kind of the green one. And the emblem for it that we get, whenever a creature with power 4 or greater enters the battlefield under your control, draw a card. So I've created this little power 4 plus deck, just blue-green, creatures somewhat efficiently costed, with some ramp and just trying to get out to big creatures quick, drawing enough cards and kind of overwhelming the opponent, getting some value on that. So we don't have a lot of vanillas, creatures that at least do something. Probably could be better if I had more cards in my collection, but I don't. So we've got what we've got, and we're going to jump in. I've played a couple of games in this, and it can get kind of chaotic if your opponent's doing the same thing. I've only played against other green stompy decks, and you just draw a lot and try and figure out what's the best play in the moment, and it's kind of fun. This one, unfortunately, with just the islands and being heavy green, we're going to send this back. This would be perfect if we had 2, 3, and then we can always turn 4 into turn 5 or something. But without at least one forest, this makes this pretty hard. We'll keep this one instead. This is fine. The question is, what do we want to send back? And I think we're going to send the spider back. I don't know what the right thing is. We'll be drawing enough things. Alright, looks like my opponent might have green-white. I haven't seen anyone with green-white. They've got a Rot Priest here. Maybe a green-white Toxic or something. And just trying to finish it out quickly. We'll just play another forest. I don't have a lot of 1s and 2s. I have a few, and a little bit of like ramp in that area. But once we start getting some of the big creatures down and drawing, usually we have keep drawing into gas, and it's pretty good. So yeah, it looks like our opponent might just be going in on a kind of low aggro plan. The nice thing about the Lurking Roper is a 4/5. It does kind of block that, and so as soon as we get, as you see, we kind of get down here and we can start holding the ground, and our opponent then has to have removal. We start getting the card advantage off the draw, so we'll see what our opponent's got. But at this point, the Lurking Roper doesn't untap, but it's an early play that generally we want to hold the ground. So we're not necessarily using it to attack. Yeah, if they want to make this or offer this trade, I will take it, because they've got to, they've got to have a trick or something for it. This Titan of Industry is really, really good. Unfortunately, we don't have a 4-drop, but we can get out a 5 with our Air Elemental next turn and stem some of the bleeding. Boseiju is good. We're running a copy as well, and that helps in the ramp. kind of as I said too, we have... Oh, there's our 4, of course. So next time we're taking 5 from this. This one wants to be aggressive. There's not really a difference, so we're just going to use all of our mana. Could definitely be a better build if I had... This is like one of the vanilla creatures that I have. I just... You know, if that was something else. Again, if my collection was a little bit... what's the word? Bigger, wider. Had a few more things. But I wasn't doing Arena for quite a while. So here's the question is... We know we get a 6-drop. The 7 is going to be really, really good for us. Are we willing to trade? And unfortunately, it looks like our opponent has a removal. So they take that option away from us. So here we can play out the 6/6. Or a 6/6 that will blow up Boseiju, or we can gain life off of it. And I'm not sure what the correct option is. I think we need to blow up Boseiju. That does get out of control, gets really big, and then it's harder to deal with. If we can survive until next turn, we can Titan of Industry, and that is actually a pretty good card in this format, as our opponent just demonstrates. Because you get 2 different triggers, it'll gain us some life, and we'll probably create a 4/4 off of this. So you draw 2 cards. They're going to put a shield counter on their creature, which makes sense for them. They're not in a bad spot on life. I'm still willing to block here, because I can't afford to die. And I'll keep the shield counter. That's fine. The goal is... I almost grabbed the Tangled Islet there, and that would have been bad, because then we couldn't play our Titan of Industry. The problem is, I think we're still dead. We're pretty close to it because... Okay, there we've got some... So that's what I say. Once it kind of gets going, you can get there. We can block here or here. I think at this point they put... I don't know where they put the counter. If they put the counter on the Titan or the Venerated Rot Priest, we have to chump with our warrior, and then we still take 6 if they attack all out. If I was them, I think I would put it on the Titan of Industry, because then it doesn't die. Because at this look, right, if I trade here and here, I take 7, go to 3. I'm dead to the flyer. But who knows what I draw. I think taking 4 and going to 6, I'm still almost as dead, and then I don't take out some of their board. So I do think that was a mistake for them. However, I don't know. Alright, we've got 7 available to us. So we can do like a 4 and a 5. This will gain us some life. This is a flyer. Do I not know how to count? We don't have 7. Oh yeah, that doesn't make sense. The math doesn't add up. Okay, so I think I messed that up. Because it's a 4 and a 3, and not a 4 and a 5, and I'm... Wow, okay. A little tired. Today, I think we're just dead. Let's just send this one back. We punted that pretty bad. The Glorious Sunrise was good to gain the life, but we needed at least something else to block. I think we might have still been dead. Because if we block the big guy, again, if they attack all out, I think our opponent was being very cautious in that, and might have been better off to just attack with a lot more things, since our board was pretty stale on that. We are running, like in that one, we saw a lot of similar cards to what we're running. For good or for bad, I don't know if, but I think that, I like to think that means that I picked some good cards for this format. Alright, let's try another one here. I am so sorry that I made that mistake. I don't think we were going to win anyways, but it's still no excuse for making really bad, simple math mistakes. So, and that is one thing I'll say I do like. I'm going to keep this because we got the Tangled Islet, turn 2 Innkeeper, which can ramp us into like a turn 4 World Shaper at this point. I'm saying one of the things I do like or prefer about Paper is that it is, to me, I can kind of move my lands around and really line them up and say, okay, I can, this is reserved for this is reserved for that. Oh, that's gonna suck. Because they're probably gonna take our Innkeeper. And I guess we draft a treasure chest. Seems like getting some treasures is better. Unfortunately, losing that ramp piece was going to be bad. But like I was saying, so you can line them up, and I can really double count and make sure. And here on Arena, I often have trouble counting the land that I have access to. And so I make silly mistakes like that. So here we could ramp into a 5 for next turn, which I think is fine. Puts a creature on the board. I don't mind chumping this. Here, I think we'll just save that treasure chest. Since I have better things to do and this fits the plan. Yeah, our opponent getting to take our 2-drop, which was the key to kind of that hand being pretty good, sucked. But I think using that treasure for the 4-drop then means we are back a turn again. So it's hard to say. Here again, I think we just put out the biggest creature. We don't have anything we need. Next turn we have access to 5 mana, so we've got, and here I'm going to do the math correctly, a 3 and a 2, but I don't have a 2 right now. Let's see, what is... I don't want to block the Death Touch. The 5/3 could be blocked by something else, so I think we block the 5/5. Again, we're just trying to hold the ground, stem the damage here. So because we're very likely to get either some treasure or life off of this, I think we are... It's hard though, because if we don't hit the treasure tokens, we won't be able to cast another creature. Otherwise, we can cast one creature. This gets better being cast after this. Next turn we're at 6, so we can play 2 things. Yeah, I'm going to cast the World Shaper and just use as much mana as I can. Yeah, okay, so I did not see they had this Gisa out that would steal my thing, and also my World Shaper, so I think this is another loss. Let's roll the treasure chest just to see what we get. Oh, I get a sacrifice. I thought it was an ETB. Okay, that's... Alright, not a card I've played with. I don't ever play with alchemy cards and things, so... yeah, I think I had fun. Even though it was... Our opponent overwhelmed us, they didn't do anything that was unfun. Alright, let's go into another one. Alright, we don't have the blue for these. Boseiju gets us more forest, but we're heavy green, and I think even getting Boseiju, Glorious Sunrise, Lattice Blade, like, I think we have some good plays. I would like a few more early things to do, but again, we don't have them. We're going first, which does kind of help us get there if we have things to do. We do need to draw one more land. Oh, but we did get Titania. So that's a 3-drop. That at least lets us get something. This is pretty decent with our... Yuck. Okay. We did not draw that land, which is just unfortunate. Bad luck on our part. We've drawn that land, we'd Boseiju, we would for sure have the land to keep going. Alright. So... Okay, so Urabrask is exiling cards. Trying to figure out what happened there. That's right. Okay. So we're just gonna Boseiju. Get 2 forests. We can't trade with Boseiju. Taking 1 from the Caryatid is fine. They're more than likely to use it for ramp. Urabrask can be problematic, but I think we've got enough stuff to do and we draw enough that losing a card off the top isn't terrible. We're going to be discarding at some point anyways. Yeah, there's the 10-10. So our opponent, again, may have gotten enough things on board quickly enough. To really cause us problems. We don't really have any removal. We've got 5. I don't have another way. I don't think I need the Caryatid. It's fun, but at this point we have, I think, enough stuff. The Indrik can come in and fight the Urabrask. So the question at this point really is, what do we put down? And I think we'll just put down a 4/4. Again, it's self-contained with Urabrask. Here we've got no attacks. so there's another... And these are the kinds of things I wish I had a little bit more of some of these early ramps to get there. I don't know... We definitely can't take 15. I think we double block. Take 10, go to 2. Again, here is where I think my opponent should have attacked things. But the monster manual, really fun if you can get it early, start cheating out other stuff. Here we have to play the Indrik, but we're dead to... Well, we've got to reach. So we're having it fight the Urabrask, even though that kills them both. We can chump, but then we die to those two if they attack all out. If they can remove something, but our opponents have not been overly aggressive. Sure, okay. Because now it doesn't matter what we chump. I think we're dead. Okay. Well, that was... yeah, we had fun. We got to play our things. I've enjoyed this. Alright, maybe we'll try another one here. Okay. Let's see, I'd really like to get a win for you guys before we finish up here. But as you can see, as I was saying, kind of, it gets a little chaotic, right? Like, it's just, everyone starts drawing enough, putting down things, and it's, can you get 2 things, right, before your opponent does? I'll keep it, it's not great, but we've got our colors, we can get a 3-drop down. Really, like, getting some kind of ramp and getting a bigger creature down first and getting into the draw. Because, like, being able to keep playing lands every turn and do that is really, really good. Yeah, so, like, there we go. Nice ramp there for our opponent. So next turn, like, they can play a 3-drop on turn 2, which... if they have one and it's 4 power or not, starts their engine. Even without that, I think Azusa's Journeys here is really good. Just put some decent things down. Our opponent hasn't played too many big things. So actually this seems kind of decent for us. I don't mind them having all the ramp. If... I'm going to play the Caryatid, because if we draw a land, we can play a 6. If we don't, we at least play a 5. I'm not going to attack, so I can hold up. He won't untap until I gain life. I don't have a ton of ways to gain life, so generally the Roper is for... Okay. 2 permanent mana value, 5 or less from the rest of the bottom of your library. Okay, so in theory, we'll draw 2 cards for my opponent. Is pretty good. Caryatid and Careful Cultivation is fine. So yeah, here we did not draw the land, so we do have access to a 5 and 2 6s. The question is just what's better. Our opponent can't play this. I mean, I think our 5 might be better just because if our opponent doesn't draw a spell they can play, it'll turn into night, and this gets bigger. Otherwise, this is bigger and doesn't die to the likeness. This one does, and this one doesn't kill it. So I think the Burly Breaker is just better if they draw a land. And it's likely to turn to night at some point when our opponent runs out of things to do. Alright, with these, they get their flashback, sure. Get their draws, and they get back into the game. Interesting. Okay. Still not another land. I think Sludge Monster, pretty good. Yeah, is there anything that's an ongoing effect? So Seeker, is letting our opponent generate mana. And it has reach, so I think we'll turn the mana off. It's still a 3/5. We did get to draw a land on that. And do we attack? And I think not yet. I think once we have the Sludge Monster and it can attack, because at least one more attack could be good. Of course, our opponent getting a Titan out before us, not as good. So we missed a couple of land drops, and that's really setting us back. If we could have gotten this Titan, if we had hit the land both turns and played a Titan instead, I think might have been a better situation. Our opponent's definitely gone wide, or wider than us here, but that's all right. We do have a 3. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So if we draw another 3, we could put 2 creatures down. If we draw another land, we could play one of our 7s. Okay, our opponent not willing to... So the question here is the horror letting us start to bounce our opponent's creatures, and getting to replay them isn't necessarily good, but there's a couple of decent targets on it? Or do we play the Titan, build the board? I think the answer is Titan. Let's see, do they have an enchantment that's worth destroying? So we could destroy Azusa. Which I do think, given the board state, even though we blanked it, making their Titan a 2/2 seems good. So I will attack. I would love to get this Ascendant Pack Leader, so it stops getting counters, but I don't think. Yeah, I think we kill the Rhino. Just in case. Yeah, it's just, I mean, it's a 2/2 and it's a creature. But I'm worried they have recursion or some way to get it back. But I guess that now the Sludge Monster's restrictions aren't there anymore, but I'm happy to trade 7s for 7. Alright, there we go. Get my early breaker online. And then we can return. So what do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we can... I don't really want to draw more right now. Kind of think we Warzone Duplicator, return a pack leader, since this one doesn't trigger their draw, and remove all those counters. This lets us ramp, use our mana a little bit more efficiently. And here, because we have... It is day, and it's going to turn night because we cast... Or it's night, it's going to turn day because we cast things. I think we do try and attack here and take advantage of getting a 2-for-1. I don't know that it matters. We should eat them both. And now the Hull Break Horror, I think, is good because everything they have left on the board doesn't trigger the draw 4. I think we're actually in a good spot, and we may get this last one a win for you guys. Oh yeah, Bushwhack seems good. Okay, they'll kill one of my ramp guys. Not a big problem to me. I think we play the pack leader because that seems fine. And I want to leave up mana for my Hull Break. Or 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And that's 7. So yeah, we won't play anything else. It's got flash. Do we attack with my Warzone Duplicator? Do we attack with my Rhino? I think we do. Our opponent doesn't have particularly good blocks. And either chumps, which cleans the board off, or takes 10. And yeah, I'm happy if they chump. Particularly like that one bouncing it, they actually get advantage from it, so it's not something we want to bounce back to their hand off of my horror triggers. If my opponent's just drawing land, that's pretty good for us. Again, nothing here that they have right now lets them draw into things. Let's see, I don't think they're going to attack, so we're going to flash out the horror. We get a counter here, and that'll do it. Okay. Our opponent saw the end. That's good. It's unfortunate. I would have liked to have a big swing. Actually do some of those things, but they decided they didn't want any of that. So thanks for joining us. We got us another card style reward here. Got some of those. So that was the Hunter Maze. I think, again, my deck was... We'll take a look at it real quick. I think it was built fine for it. I would have liked a little bit more ramp because I think, as you saw, like getting out the bigger creatures earlier, drawing into stuff, was really good. I have, a lot of high-end things that do stuff, right, that we wanted to... The goal was to have, try and have everything here, or at least have an ETB or some other type of effect that got you value, and then trying to get some ramp, like Bushwhack, Caryatid, Innkeeper, Visionary. Ritual lets you grab things, and if not ramp, at least the jewel thief, um, weaver, and then the other ones um, being 4 power at 3 drops. So would have liked a little bit more ramp. I think maybe cut like a spider or something because it's good but not great. The 5 mana 4/4s are a little bit meh. Um, and could go. So, well, thanks for watching. I hope you liked it. Subscribe to the channels to see more. We're gonna try and get all 5 of these in. So we did the autonomous furnace last time. I think the surgical bay is up next. And otherwise, like the video, and we'll see you next time. Bye.